It is, what time is it? I think it's like 6:15, and I'm tired. I'm actually about to go to work, but I wanted to say that we're gonna do another vlog because my last one was kind of a hit, and tomorrow I fly out to DC for a little protest, a little civil disobedience, and I thought I should do a little vlog about it. So here we go. So if you've been following me, social media channels, which if you're not, you should be. So here they are. You know that after Roe fell on June 24th, which is a date I'll never forget, I've been super active on social media, trying to put out good information, trying to help people understand what this means, why this is dangerous, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of you are following along. This is some of the most engaging content I've had. And I think it's because people are scared and they want to get information from the people who are like literally dealing with this every day. So like OBGYNs, not politicians. So I got this message from one of my OBGYN besties, Dr. Heather Irabunda. If you're not following her on Instagram and TikTok, you should be. And she said, hey, so there's this thing happening in DC, spread the word. And I thought, yeah, sure, I'll share it to people who are there. And in the next minute I thought, well, why can't I be there? Other than the fact that I'm on the West Coast and I'm supposed to work a shift that I would have to switch around, and it costs a lot of money to fly, and it's, there's a lot of other things going on right now that I need to be doing. But other than that, and then my heart kind of stopped and I was like, oh shit, I need to go. So I called my husband and I said, so there's this thing going on, and I feel like I need to be there. And he said, okay, well, then if you need to be there, you need to be there. So let that be a lesson, that if you're going to get a partner who, when you say that something is this important to you, that they say, cool, let's do it, as opposed to telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. So I think it was cool. So bought a plane ticket, and I leave tomorrow. And I'm gonna document that and share it with you. So stay tuned. But for now, I'm gonna go to work and do my real job. Okay, bye. Alrighty, at the airport. Let's go to DC. Getting ready to head to DC, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous, but I'm excited, and I'm excited to do this and to show up and to share it all with you. So let's get going. So, good morning. I am in Washington, DC. I made it here fine. I meant to film like me getting off the plane and blah, 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 and whatever. It's been busy. So here's what I'm doing today. I just woke up, in case you can't tell, and I'm heading to a protest, which is more like an act of nonviolent civil disobedience. And I've never done one of these. I mean, I've gone to protests and rallies before. I've never done something like this. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm a little scared, but I'm excited because, for example, I woke up this morning to just to more news that things are not going the way that they should be. For example, stories from hospital lawyers, like the lawyers themselves, who were saying, hi, we are not in a position to be making decisions about whether or not patients are close enough to death. And listen, I am not here to say whether or not you should agree with abortion. I'm here to tell you that you cannot agree with abortion for yourself and support choice for other people. And before you get all angry in my comments and say all the things, like as the person who helps these people when they are close to death and their pregnancy is killing them, these laws are so dangerous. As a human being who is not forced to donate my organs to other living people, not forced to donate blood, plasma, bone marrow, like how come we're okay with that level of autonomy, but we're not okay with the level of autonomy that says that a person gets to decide whether or not they allow their body to host another human? And before you spout, well, people are irresponsible and they should use birth control and they're using it and did it, like, I know that's what you've been told. I know that it makes it easier to just put up that defense. But the truth of the matter is that that is so not how this works, that birth control doesn't always work. People get assaulted. And before I go, well, that's just the minority of abortions. First of all, do you really think that everybody who is assaulted reports it? We know that they don't. But anyway, and also just not being ready to be a parent is an okay reason, because we see what happens when people who are not ready to be parents become parents. Anyway, I know I'm not here. I'm not trying to convince you to agree with abortion. I am just here to convince you to understand that sometimes there are different viewpoints and to be curious about that, because I'm curious about other people's viewpoints who say that I cannot tolerate it. I think that it's a sin. Like, I hear you and I respect that for you. It's the same reason nobody calls me up and says, you have to come right in today. You have a match for your kidney, and if you don't, they'll die. And if you don't come in, you'll go to jail. It's the same reason we're not okay with that I'm not okay with abortion restrictions. And it's a super slippery slope. The overturn of Roe v. Wade is about so much more than abortion. So anyway, that's why I'm here in DC. That's why I'm showing up. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to finish getting ready. Okay, so I'm about to head in, get ready, and get organized. Okay, so we are gathering here. We are about to get organized, get our civil disobedience training on before things get going.
Get there, and the people that they didn't know and didn't think that they could ask, showing up for them. Y'all, I don't give a damn about the Supreme Court, because I know that we got us, right? We together will win. Y'all, thank you so much. Alexa Johnson, our president, is also down there. Freedom for the people,
There you go. That's fair.
Under my feet, under my feet, under my feet, ain't nobody gonna walk all over me. We want justice, we want it now. We want justice, we want justice, we want justice, we want it now. We want justice, we want justice. We want justice, we want it now. We want justice, we want justice, we want justice, we want it now. Watch the barriers. We want justice, we want justice, we want it now. We want freedom, we want it now.
A lot of people around here just seem like they're saying, I want to be heard, I want to say what I have to say, which it seems there is a a certain level of power in that, you know?
Absolutely. And if they think that we just are going to say, oh, this is unfortunate, and now this is what it is, and now we have to go forward and we're not going to fight it, then that's letting them know that they've won, and they absolutely haven't. And the majority of Americans did not want Roe v. Wade overturned. So we represent actually the voice of this country. We see what happens. The politicians who make these laws, they're not there at 2 a.m. with that person who's dying, but not dying enough to intervene. So they can sleep at night, but we can't. And so we have to fight back because we are actually the experts in this and they are not.
Minority. Determined to erase our power and voice. Determined to erase our power and voice.
President Capitol Police are being arrested today. Come on, please.
Okay, so I did it. Look, sorry. A little discombobulated. The girl got her first arrest. It was the most civilized way and privileged way to get arrested. And so what happened was we marched down, and then we were instructed by the Capitol Police to leave the street that we were sitting down in. And we didn't, as a form of non-violent civil disobedience. Now, for those of you who say marching and sitting in a street doesn't do anything, well, it kind of does, because it shows people that we're not okay with where things are at. And we're showing up, and we're not just going to go quietly into that good night. So we sat, and we pretty quickly got arrested. We got moved over to a separate area where we sat some more, and they took our information. And we sat some more. Then they gave us our citation, and I have to go in 24 hours and pay my $50 bail. And then that's it. Right now, I'm going to go get some lunch, and I'm going to try and cool off because I'm sweating so much. It's so hot here. And just think about what all this is, this all means. There were people there from Alaska, from Puerto Rico, from Kansas, from Texas, from Louisiana, from trigger states, from states that already have bans. It was very inspiring to feel like we were maybe doing something and speaking up and not just sending tweets or feeling outraged. So a little bit more on that to come. Have you guys heard of Coco Melon? I'm staying with a friend, and they have a little toddler. It's like it's just very zen. I'm going to show it to you. I mean, I don't know, but this is like, I could watch this and this could put me to bed. This is like the level of where I'm at right now. Oh, and the numbers were in. 181 of us were arrested today at our gathering. And guess who was there? And I didn't know it. Busy Phillips. Yes, Busy Phillips. Love her. Didn't get to see her. A little sad that I didn't. But I thought that was a fun, cool little tidbit. It's been a weekend. I fly back home tomorrow, but I've got some press that I need to do before then and some work. And I've got to go to the Capitol and pay off my fine tomorrow. So yeah, I'll have you come along with me for that fun journey. Okay, let's head to the Capitol Police and go pay that bail. All right, so I paid my fee, did my little thumbprint, got out of here at the Capitol Police headquarters. Very interesting to see some of these cops. Man, you can just tell they're the ones that let the January 6th insurrectionists go, but I don't have the capacity to process that right now. So I'm gonna head out, see what lies ahead. Okay, so a bit more on my experience with paying my $50 bail at the U.S. Capitol Police. And the statement I made before, I feel pretty confident in what I said. But regardless, I just find it super interesting. As I was sitting down in this protest and this planned nonviolent civil disobedience where we were speaking up and speaking out, that we knew we'd get arrested and it was handled and whatever, that some other crazy things happened, like January 6th, and nobody got arrested. And it's just a striking difference. And you may say, Jen, you're an OBGYN, stick to talking about vaginas. Well, this is about that, because this is why we are where we are today. So overall, my experience with coming to DC for this protest is that how it went down was organized amazingly well. It was very peaceful. It felt good to do something. It was also an extremely privileged way for me to get arrested. I know that as a white woman, my experience, was I nervous? Sure. But I know that my experience was very different than the Black and brown people who were there with me. And they said it. And they were very clear. They knew they were taking even more of a risk. So I think that's why it's a responsibility for people who look and are like me, especially from states that are not hostile, that we need to speak out. And there's probably going to be somebody in the comment section who says, well, you think it really did anything? In and of itself, as an isolated thing, of course not. But what it did do, as part of this and many other actions, is it showed that we're not going quietly. We're not going to take this laying down. We're not going to be okay with the Supreme Court not only sending abortion rights back to states that have proven that they're going to mess that up, but that this opens the door for so many other things. When you say that the right to privacy can be interpreted in this way. And so, yeah, it did do something, because it showed people that couldn't be there that we're still fighting and we're speaking up. And so I'm glad I came. It's but one piece of the puzzle. If you are interested in ways where you should donate, how you can act, I'm going to put those resources in the show notes. I'm going to head to the airport now, and I'm going to head home. And before I head home, I've got some interviews to do and some work to do. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to think about just how privileged I am, even in the current state of the United States of America, and how today's action was very meaningful, or yesterday's action. The process of just being able to go and pay my bail and leave, as opposed to being treated in a different way. So till later, I'm going to get my butt to the airport. Packing up to head back home.
But I do want to get serious for a second, because since you were last on with us, you have gotten arrested. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
Yesterday, yeah. In fact, so I'm actually in DC. I'm in the airport right now, about to head home to Portland. And I came here for a protest that was organized by the Center for Progressive Democracy in partnership with Planned Parenthood. And it was the first time that Planned Parenthood has partnered with them to partake in nonviolent civil disobedience. And so we all walked past the Supreme Court at the exact time that Justice Jackson was being sworn in, and we acted together in a nonviolent way to show that we would not take this, we would not back down. So those of us who sat in the street, 181 of us, we were arrested, although it was a very privileged way to get arrested. It's not the real way that it happens. And we decided to do that because we need to speak up, we need to fight back.
I'm home in Portland. It's like 12:30 to me, but only 9:30 here. And I am super excited to go home, see my kids, see my family. Well, tomorrow, because they're sleeping, as they should be. And to get some rest and wake up and see what tomorrow brings in terms of the fight for reproductive rights. Have a good night. Oh, and thanks for watching my vlog. Leave some comments or questions, and I'll see you next week. Yeah. The real question is, where's my car? Hello? Car? Hello? Don't worry, I found her.